Yes, it is. It sure is. And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us again to another weekly session of what's going on at University of the Virgin Islands School of Agriculture. So what's going on at SOA? We're here weekly at 3 p.m. going Facebook Live, coming to our local and global audiences. And I'll introduce myself and then the co-host. I'm DaraMonifah Cooper, your School of Agriculture communication specialist in the area of technology, distance and online learning. And
Hi guys, my name is Leandra Kent. I'm the Public Relations Specialist / Editor for the School of Agriculture.
So we're going to be bringing some things to you soon, but just so you know a little bit about what we do, this is a weekly live program co-hosted by our communications team here at the School of Agriculture at UVI. And we basically bring you lively interviews with our staff, our administrators, our community partners, sometimes stakeholders or current and past clients, as we discuss our experiences and examples of how we all work together in expanding the needs of the community. So for more information, you can visit our website. This is ces.uvi.edu. That's for the Cooperative Extension Service Office, which I'm working out of right now on the Orville Ken St. Thomas campus of the University of the Virgin Islands. Coming soon, will be our School of Agriculture website, and you'll be able to access that once it's up and published soon at soa.uvi.edu. But for now, visit us at Cooperative Extension Service, which is just one of the 3 branches of the School of Agriculture. Cooperative Extension Service, the Agriculture Experiment Station, and now our new academic programs. So for more information, visit us at ces.uvi.edu. So today's program, we're going to be sharing with you a conversation I had with our coworker, Toni Thomas, and she is our School of Agriculture Extension Agent, and she's also the author of Traditional Medicinal Plants of St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. And that is this book right here. Oh. Well, you had it. That's this book right here. Right, so many of us know it. For short, we call it the Medicinal Plant Book, the local medicinal plant book. But she'll be speaking about that, her in general. You get to know a little bit more about her and her journey. And there's some other videos that we're going to be posting up soon online. So visit us on Facebook, UVI SOA. You'll see some of the other videos where she spoke about a number of different things. And how that publication came to be and her love for medicinal plants and natural resources and things like that. So we'll share that interview with you. And then we're gonna get into a couple of other topics, including some upcoming trainings, pesticide safety trainings, the exams and the recertification classes, as well as give you a little teaser to something that's coming up later in the month on the 24th. With our Southern Sustainable Agriculture Research and Extension Producer Grant Awardees, the first in the territory ever. So we'll get to that a little bit, but we're not going to tell you too much today. And then also sharing that there's a potential job for a student on our Albert Sheen campus over on St. Croix, working with our Agriculture Experiment Station in collaboration with EPSCoR here at the university. And it's a student research assistant job. So Leandra is going to mention that. And then just remember that we're rebranding. So we'll touch on that a little bit. So everywhere you used to see CES on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere, UVI CES. Now we have shifted over and we're transitioning to all being one family under the UVI SOA, okay? UVI School of Agriculture. So first, let's get right into the video with Toni Thomas, and pulling it up for you. Again, thank you for joining us because there's a lot we have in store for you. Here it is. And then let me know once I start sharing that you can hear it and everything is fine, please. Here we go. Oops. Are you seeing it?
You have to bring it back.
Okay. And you're working with multiple screens.
There you
Technology,
go.
it's what we do. Left screen, not right. Got it. Okay, so here we go. So this is again speaking with Toni Thomas right here under the Cooperative Extension Service Office of the Virgin Islands School of Agriculture. So I'm here with Toni Thomas at the Cooperative Extension Service Office on the Orville Ken St. Thomas campus, and I'll just let her tell a little bit about herself.
Well, I've lived in the Virgin Islands for quite a long time, but before I came here, I grew up in New Jersey, very close to New York City. Spent time in New York City studying, and also after college, I went up to Montreal, traveled throughout Europe and North Africa several times in attempts to get farther south in Africa, but that wasn't possible at the time. So for the first part of my life, I did travel quite a bit, traveled in the Caribbean, coming here several times before I decided to settle on St. Thomas.
Wow, that's 4 decades at least.
4 decades at least. And then I came to work in at the Virgin Islands at UVI in the 1980s. And I started working on a project that was very exciting. Actually, I volunteered initially because I had been coming to Cooperative Extension Service. I really wanted to learn, although what I studied was more humanities, fine arts, those particular things. Where I studied, there was a very, very good agricultural school as well. It was Cornell University. So just everything was interesting. All of the curricular activities were very interesting. And at that time, I got interested in agriculture as well. And also, having grown up in a city area, a suburban area, nature wasn't that prominent. Everything was, mowed lawns and that kind of thing. When I got into the wild and could see the forests, and I became curious about everything around me. And so I started learning there. I became involved with the Cooperative Extension Service at the university and learned about community gardening and other things like that. So I already had interest in those things when I came and found Extension Service in the Virgin Islands. And so many workshops were being offered at that time that were open to the general public, and they were just excellent. And so I decided to come and volunteer at a time when they needed volunteers, because scientists were coming to the Virgin Islands, specifically from the Smithsonian Institution, from the University of Puerto Rico and other universities, and the New York Botanical Garden, to do inventories of the natural resources of the Virgin Islands. So I started working along with those teams of scientists, because what we were going to be doing here at the university was keeping some of the collections that they were making, particularly on St. John, but they were also working some on St. Croix and St. Thomas. So that was my first job here, was to process these collections as they were bringing them in. And in fact, at that time, we only had one computer in the office, and we actually got it for that particular project. So I was also learning how to use a computer, because computer science was just starting, really. It was that
and it was in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah.
Wow. So your actual degree program was not in agriculture?
No, it wasn't in agriculture. But the interest grew when I was, working on getting another degree. Yeah. And so.
Interesting. Nice.
Because then I just began volunteering everywhere that I could, find somebody who would take me in. Rutgers University, I went there and worked on a research program. I mean, you could walk into places and say, I'm interested in learning, and that was possible at that time. I think it's still possible. Yeah. Absolutely. We do that here.
And it's still needed.
It's still needed.
Yeah.
That's how you get started. You get started sometimes with practical experience.
Right.
And realize you have an interest in that. And sometimes when you're working, and that's one great thing about the university, you can have a lot of one-on-one experiences here from people that know about things, who have and are willing, have the time and are willing to work with individuals. You get great education that way. And
the small sized classrooms and being able to just walk into places. And even now with with COVID and everything, you can still reach out to people and call and set up things and make things happen. So it's great. And I know that ties in, that background then ties into what you actually are officially responsible for doing with Cooperative Extension Service.
Exactly.
So let's speak about that.
Actually, so that was a great stepping stone for me, processing these collections of native plants. I learned about the native plants, you know, it was, you couldn't have had a better education. And so I started working, then I was hired, and I became an employee in the Agriculture and Natural Resources program at Extension. And basically native plants was what I would say my focus was, but it expanded into other areas. Of course, we work on watershed education, on water quality, native plants, environmental management, and even into agriculture. We work a lot with the farmers, you know, trying to provide information about natural resources. And so that's basically what my focus has been here.
Nice. And you have 2 publications in front of you, and you also have some of these plants. So why don't you tell us about, and we'll come back to the publications in a minute.
Okay.
But the plants that you have right here.
Leaving the house today, I just decided it's in a bowl, which is a calabash,
yeah.
or sometimes known as creation bowl. And I guess I was bringing some things that kind of promoted a thought about that particular plant and the potential that it offers us here in the Virgin Islands. Both, some of these have a good and interesting cultural history being used by Virgin Islanders. Not all of them are medicinal, and I decided to sort of mix it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a plant like
what
this.
Do you have in there? Yeah.
People that I interviewed for the book that we'll talk about in a second, especially the fishermen. This was one of the most important plants to them. It's tire palm, and tire palm, a lot of people think it's a common plant here, but really it's unique to a regional area, being Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, including the British Virgin Islands.
Okay.
The way the fishermen used it, they would use the emerging leaf, the first leaf to come up, and they felt this was stronger than steel. And they used it on their boats, and they used it to tie their fish pots. And they just swore by this. If you gave them a chance to use this over, you know, wire, they definitely would choose this.
Wow. Okay.
So I thought I'd bring it along just to show how important various plants have been as far as the culture is concerned here, but not necessarily medicinally. And then there are a lot of plants here that are traditional medicinal plants. This is one called Sweet Scent. It smells wonderful. Of course, nobody out there can smell it.
I know.
But it was great.
You gotta make an appointment to come into the office so you can smell it from our demonstration garden.
Yeah, this is where we're going to tempt you to come in, and we have an open door. Please come in. This is another one people know as noni or pink. We know it here as painkiller. That was the local traditional name, painkiller, or starvation fruit, because people, if you had nothing else, this was available, and yet this became such a commercially important plant. And you could buy a bottle of noni for $40, you know, from the Tahitian, you know, it's a Tahitian plant. But here it was growing, and for a while people weren't connecting up this thing you're paying $40 for and this tree going, and the coastal areas are the same thing. It is not originally from here, it was from India originally, but it was also brought as a dye plant that was used in the dye industry. We had a big dye industry here in during the colonial period. And dyes, natural dyes, were really important. I mean, the color of royalty was purple, and so they were trying to find purples all around the world, purple sources of purple color or red. And so I'm going to go through this quickly.
Sure.
This one right here, I brought in a couple of plants that I'm not even going to give the names of the plants, because these plants are rare plants, but they have potential. A lot of these plants were used traditionally, but I think a lot of the plants that were used traditionally became known probably in the colonial period, but the islands had been cleared. You know, agriculture was the big thing. The forests were being cleared. So oftentimes you don't find as much knowledge, traditional knowledge about the native plants in the forest, because the forests weren't there. But we do have these plants, and they're rare, and now they're in the forest, and they have, one has wonderful fragrance. It's related to our official
Is it the little berry?
endangered species,
Is that one that little
St.
berry in
Thomas prickly ash. And this one right here is this brother or sister to cocaine.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the same genus as
Okay.
cocaine. But there's no research on these plants. So I would encourage people that might want to come to the School of Agriculture
Mm.
and are thinking about futures in natural product chemistry or other things like that. It's wide open. There's still a big frontier out there. You think about the Amazon rainforest and finding new cures for this or that.
Mm-hmm.
But we are just like the Amazon rainforest.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand.
Yeah. So then, I'm not going to go through all of them, but
Sure.
you know, we have soursop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a major cancer plant now. It's being actually used. It's been studied by a number of universities. The only thing about soursop, it's very effective. It's been very effective. We've had people come in and say they had cancer. They were terminal, and they found out about using noni, and they started, and they've gone into remission. But the research is there to support some of that. The only thing is it's better used fresh.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
provides us with an advantage.
Because we
At
have it
times,
right here.
we have it here.
Yeah.
And could we even have places where people who come who are suffering,
Medicinal
but they could
tourism.
be using medicinal tourism.
Yes. makes
I
sense.
mean,
Mhm.
I think about that. What better place to be? You're
Right.
recuperating.
Exactly. We have
Yeah.
the environment, the plant
You could
source.
have the wonderful tea,
Mm-hmm.
and there's research to support that. We probably need to
so
do more.
that and all of the other medicinal plants that are used and being considered for tourism too, and in the
Yeah.
School of Agriculture, we
And
know that there are going to be the
exactly.
studies related to cannabis and different things there
Right.
too. So it fits.
Yeah, it really encourages us to go farther and learning more about these plants,
Yeah.
so we can support
Safer.
the claims,
Yeah.
but also say this is a good place to come and be treated and relax.
Yep.
And
Makes sense.
this is a plant. This is called crabbush,
Uh-huh.
which grows in the coastal areas. It's a plant that was used traditionally, but now we're finding there's a lot more to this plant.
Okay.
And that's another area that I think some of the research plants had traditional uses that were for one thing,
Mhm.
but now with additional research, and all of these traditional plants are being researched now, you find there's more potential.
Okay.
And we should be learning about that so that we can take advantage really of
Right.
what is growing here
Right.
and protect it, because you can't find much of this.
Yeah.
And then I'll just
that
finish
love
up with
bush?
one. That's love bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, love bush was brought here from another place, but this is one. If you ask me, what do I have growing around me? What's in my kind of medicine box
Mhm.
in my house? This is one, because it's good for so many things. If you get a cut, you can put it on. It's antibacterial. It's antifungal. I have allergies. This is anaphylactic. So if you have a problem with allergies, this might be something that that you have around you,
Mhm.
just in case you have an emergency.
Right.
It could maybe help
And I think
for the short term.
is this the same one where I remember going on a excursion with VI Eco Tours, and they had people like write their names in the leaves?
Yes.
Is this the same?
And
What's the
that's
story
the
about
whole
that?
thing. The love bush. If you wrote the name of the person that you loved
Uh-huh.
on the plant,
Uh-huh.
and the plant, the new plants come out. They're like little leaflets that come out from the
Mhm.
side of in the margins.
Yeah.
And if that plant took root, your love was good.
Okay.
And what they used to do in the Virgin Islands, I remember when I first came here,
Mhm.
they would take one leaf, put it in a little cellophane bag, and
Uh-huh.
sell it to tourists for $1 or $2 or something
Oh,
like that for
wow.
them to take on the ships, take home. So it was a commercial thing. I remember I was in Jamaica, and this is Leaf of Life.
Mm.
You were supposed to eat one leaf a day, and it was supposed to be that tonic. That would be really
Ah.
good. So it's
There's so many stories and sellable stories, while also medicinal, healing,
Yes.
and therapeutic and other things, but also commercial
Absolutely.
possibilities of commercial
We're,
use.
tourism is our main industry right
Yeah.
at this point in time. And so there are ways to share things with people that want to learn about
Right,
these
that are
things.
actually good for them.
Absolutely good for them, and you can take it home, and it's just amazing that
Yeah.
the plant sprouts from itself. So,
What else we got in there?
well, we've got one plant here that's a traditional medicinal plant called worry wine.
Mm-hmm.
And worry wine, recently people have been using, I don't quite know in what way, we still have to investigate that, for COVID. So the farmers are selling.
Okay.
We're having our issues here.
That's some rosemary.
That's we're smelling.
Oh
I'm
my
going to tell
God,
you. You know, you
whole-
wish that you were here. We might as well. This is the one that's waiting on the, in the
yes.
you know, in the wings for us to talk about it. This was probably brought by the Europeans. Of course, our traditional medicine has many contributors, you know, culturally, and so this was planted, and along with thyme and or oregano and some of those other important culinary herbs, and it's got a wonderful smell. And this one here is one of the main ones for essential oils, as a source of essential oils, one of the main ones in the world. And that's an important industry. It commands, you know, a lot of money, essential oil, and so we could probably do more with this here in the Virgin Islands. We haven't explored the use of that as much probably as we could, considering that it grows well here. And I would just, maybe that's enough for right now, but as I said, I think probably almost every plant here has a use.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get into this one a little bit.
This is a
and
book.
I know we've been going around the garden and the herbarium and everything today, so if you could just summarize the back end of how this came about.
Okay.
Yeah, and then what
The
is
back
that?
end of how this came about was that I wanted to learn about the plants, and I began. We didn't have digital photography at the time that this book started, and so because I had a background in illustration to a certain degree, I could do, you know, fairly good drawings from life, as they say. I'm trying to find one that's large enough to show. I began with the support of my supervisors here. They saw that I was doing ink drawings of the plants, line drawings of the plants. And so what they did was they saw the potential of that, and they supported me by getting me some training in botanical illustration, which is a specific, a whole specific skill. I mean, when you do botanical illustration, it's scientific. You must show, and this is the age-old, one of the age-old ways of sharing information about plants, but you must present the plant sort of in showing every part of the plant so that someone can identify it and be sure about the identification stage. You had to show the reproductive, very detailed. You had to show the reproductive parts in particular. That's how we do identify plants, one of the main ways. Very
see, you have the
clearly.
ruler, the little ruler down there to make sure that you
to show the
are
size,
doing
the
everything
scale.
to size, to
There's
scale.
a lot of information that you're required to share in a botanical or scientific illustration. So that in itself is a whole skill.
Yeah, so that's the traditional medicinal plants of St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John, and this is about 68 of them. 68 of them.
Right.
So
you know, as I was kind of
illustrations
getting
in
involved with the documentation of the traditional medicinal plants, I was looking at what we saw before about all the folks who had been trying to document medicinal plant use, but those lists were usually fairly short, and so what I started to do was compile a database of a listing of the plants, their common names, which was really important because we were keeping the study to the Virgin Islands because things were changing and people were coming quite, you know, rapidly into the Virgin Islands, other cultures from other islands, and we wanted to try to document the local history before it just was, you know, inundated. So we found in the end there were over 400 plants that had been used traditionally in the Virgin Islands for medicinal purposes, but we chose 68 of those plants to focus on in this book for various reasons. So that was done some time ago. As you can see, very few illustration, very few photographs. And that's made, although people are interested in the book, we're hoping now we're able to document. We have photographs and we're building on this original publication.
For an updated
updated. But I must say that the information that is in here is we've been doing the updates. This information still stands. We're just building on it. There's so much more research.
Color photos and
we're
things
adding
like that.
color photos. There's research on every single plant in this book that we couldn't find at the time this book was being developed.
Nice.
Over 20 years ago. So there was very little research at that time. So
great.
Yeah.
And then
another thing that
another day we'll bring you back to speak more about this one, but
this one here, and this one here is another one that I worked on, which is about the plant and marine communities of the Virgin Islands. So basically, it was an attempt. The Department of Interior started to map the different plant and marine communities of the Virgin Islands. This one has a lot more photos. And it talks about, so we mapped, there were three, there was a scientific team, there was one of the scientific team member on each island. So there were three of us, and we had to map, do the map of the Virgin Islands, do the marine and the botanical zones or ecosystems. And then we provided information about each one of those particular ecosystems.
Right.
So there's a lot of photos in here. And then this one here, with time, I do not think it's going to change that much.
Okay.
So that's one good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we know we can get this one, but this one isn't that readily available anymore. Is that accurate? How would, if somebody wanted to see what's in here, what would you suggest at this point?
You know,
Is there a copy of it in our library?
There probably is a copy in the library. There's a copy here.
Okay.
Actually, I saw it on the list outside.
Yeah. Is that a poster or a book? We'll see. Well,
This might be an update to find out whether we still have copies on campus, because we shared. The other author of this book was working with the conservation.
Very Divine?
Yeah, Conservation Data Center here at UVI, and they may be housed there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll look into that. But this one you can definitely find in our bookstores on the university campuses, both the Albert A. Sheen as well as the Orville A. Cann campus here on St. Thomas. So both St. Thomas and St. Croix, you can find this one in the UVI bookstore, and there's a list of other stores within town, like Bookstore 340 with Pam Richards, Tulip Fleming, her spot on Main Street, over on St. Croix. There are a few others. Undercover Books, I think, is one, and then there's another one in there. So we'll get more information about that. But just go to our website, ces.uvi.edu, and you'll see some links to the books, whether it's just a picture of the cover, and you can reach out to us to be able to come and purchase these. Well, thank you, Toni.
May I add just one thing too? Because we are updating the book. If people are interested in plants, please feel free to come by to our office on the St. Thomas campus. It's the second building, it's the first building after the security building on the main road. You can park there, the parking is open, and come in and ask us questions.
And if you could share your contact info, so that way they can call ahead or set an appointment to come in, or email you if they want to email you.
Okay, my email address is tthomas, so that's TTHOMAS2, tthomas2 at uvi.edu.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your office, your desk phone.
The desk phone is working.
Oh, it's not. Okay. So, but they call the front desk.
Yeah, they can call the front desk, which would be 693-1080.
693-1080. All right. So, thank you, Toni. I'm sure many people have been waiting to find out more about this, and it's really significant, like you said, in other times that we've spoken, where we're bringing things from the past and making them more known again, reminding us of these things, because they're needed now, and they'll probably be needed in the future as well, but we have to preserve them.
Yeah, they're things of the past, but they're really things of the future.
Right.
I'm coming to realize they're things of the future. And we have so much information documented. in the words of the people who provided the information.
Yes.
They're all gone now. All of the people that were interviewed for this particular book,
This one?
you know, have passed on, but they wanted the information
To get out.
also to be passed on. It was, you know, they were passionate about it. And when I go back and look at the information that they provided in their words, I mean, their recipes that would kind of really surprise you, the amount of knowledge that they had is just quite amazing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so until the next time, there's always a lot going on at the School of Agriculture, Cooperative Extension Service, and our other sibling offices with Agriculture Experiment Station, and now our new academic programs, so that you want to find out more about those. Again, you can visit us, ces.uvi.edu. Just visit the website. But stay tuned, because there's a whole lot going on at the University of the Virgin Islands School of Agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dara and Toni, for the amazing interview. Very informative. And as she said in the end, you can get her book, Traditional Medicinal Plants of St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. You can also get the Native Recipe book right here, and the Tropical Fruits of the U.S. Virgin Islands and their nutritional values. All three books are available at the St. Croix bookstore, UVI, St. Thomas bookstore, UVI. We have Undercover Books on St. Croix, and we have the bookstore 340 on St. Thomas, and Tropical Creations Gallery and Boutique and Cultural Center. They also have all three books available. So if you want any of these books, they're up for purchase and ready for you guys to read.
Yes, they are getting out there, and we definitely want to mention too, especially for the local fruit book with the nutrition. We want to thank Sister B, Barbara, who is on AM 1000 Monday through Fridays at 7:30 a.m. until 9, doing the morning show, the wake up show. So her medicine cabinet program always features a page out of one of our books. So giving thanks to the rest of the community that's supporting the work done at the School of Agriculture's Cooperative Extension Service in terms of these publications, and just continue getting the word out. For those who want to purchase the books, some people are calling us at the office. We do have a few of them here, but we're trying to direct you to support those in the community that also have their businesses. So pesticide safety. Last week we were on with Dr. Amy Dreves, the BI bug lady, and she shared a whole lot of information with us. Not everything I want to know about, but but it's still useful for those who are going to deal with those pests for us and want to get all their training and everything. Could you share some information on the upcoming trainings?
Right, so more details on that. The pesticide safety trainings, exams, and recertification classes. The training and exams are free, and you must pre-register by email with Dr. Amy Dreves at amy.dreves@uvi.edu, amy.dreves@uvi.edu, or calling at 340-692-4052. You can leave a message with her if she doesn't answer. There's a limited space available in the class due to COVID-19 protocol, so you must pre-register and you must wear a mask to class. The locations are on both campuses, St. Croix Albert Einstein Campus Room, NWW 102-103, live in person. And then there's the St. Thomas Orville E. Ken Campus Room, TED 213. Video conferencing start time is 8:30 a.m. And please come on time. It's an all-day training and you will get hungry, so bring your lunch. The expected training dates are February 26th, that already passed. The certification for recertification for renewing your expiring applicator's license. March 3rd, which is today, they had their integrated pest management So it was like a half day training today. March 8th, next week, they'll be having the Pesticide Safety Core. March 17th is the Public Health. March 22nd is the Industrial, Institutional, Structural, and Health. And March 26th is the Ornamental and Turf. You can get an electronic version of the 2014 core manual online, or it's up for purchase for $10. You can also contact Dr. Dries for that as well. So if you didn't catch the email, it's Amy, AMY, Dreves, DREVES, @ubi.edu, and her phone number is 340-692-4052, and just leave a message if she doesn't answer.
Yes, yes, always a lot going on here. So there's something else that we're just gonna give you a little hint at, but you gotta join us on the 24th at the end of the month to see for yourself and hear for yourself those that were awarded for the first time in the territory with a Southern Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education producer grant. And again, you'll get more information about that if you join us on the 24th. But something took place, the field day activity where they were presented and basically congratulated for the work that they've done. It's related to lemongrass, I'll tell you that much. It's related to getting oil from the lemongrass. And here's the big part: 4 women locally got that first award in the territory. They're not the only ones who got the award. There's a second as well, but again, stay with us. Join us on the 24th, right here at 3 p.m. at the UVI SOA weekly update. And then 6 p.m. that evening, we're gonna show live the video of the event that took place, where they actually get to see some of the demonstrating and things like that. So stay with us and continue joining us here at what's going on at UVI SOA, our School of Agriculture's weekly update. But wait, there's more. So
we have a lot of announcements today, huh?
Yes, yes. So go ahead and share the one about the student job, because that, we don't know who that might be, but you never know. Look how Toni started, you know, and now she's working with us. So what do you have on that?
Honestly, agriculture, we're just doing so much, and this is a great opportunity. We've been promoting this for weeks now, and we're going to keep promoting because we want these students to have as much experience as possible if they are interested in this. AES, the Agriculture Experiment Station / EPSCoR, is having a student research assistant job. It's available for any undergrad that's interested in internship in sustainability or environmental science. So students based on St. Croix are invited to apply for this paid.
Well, I don't think they heard you. You need to say that again.
Paid, in all caps, underline, paid spring internship in environmental science research. You will get direct hands-on experience in scientific research in ecological and agricultural questions in the Virgin Islands. You will do field trips, sample collections in diverse natural environments, lab trainings, data analysis, scientific training, and interpretation are all possibilities and opportunities in this position. Again, this is on St. Croix, based on St. Croix. So you will get a stipend of, drum roll please, $1,120 monthly stipend. So you will be getting paid monthly.
For a UVI student, because we have
undergrad.
We have applications coming in from all throughout the Caribbean right now. But you gotta be on the Alpha campus.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is UVI students only. So you will have to enroll into UVI. This is a great opportunity. You want this? Enroll into UVI. And then you would get this $1,120 monthly stipend if you're interested in this internship. David Hensley is the one that's in charge of this. So if you want to get in contact with him, he works for AES. His email is David, DAVID, .Hensley, HENSLEY @uvi.edu. You could turn in your resume and your cover letters to him. And the deadline is today to apply. March 3rd, 2021. So if you are interested and you're watching this live right now, you know a student that's going to UVA that's interested in agriculture or research, and he or she may be interested in this field, put them on. It's available until today.
Yeah. So and if this is the first time you're hearing about this, it's only because you haven't been following us. So you want to follow us.
Maybe.
At UVI SOA, wherever you are in the world of the internet. Okay, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And coming soon, here's the roll up for today, because we're rebranding our School of Agriculture website. So coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. For right now, a lot of the information is on our Cooperative Extension Service website. And for those of you that have been used to following Cooperative Extension Service on all social media, you would have noticed that the name has changed to the School of Agriculture. So it used to be UVI CES everywhere. And we still have those platforms available in terms of the website, ces.uvi.edu. But everything else, Mama got a new coat. Okay, so it is SOA now, not CES. So UVI SOA. So that's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our blog is uvisoa.blogspot.com. And that's where all of what we're saying on these weekly updates, we summarize it, put it up there, add the links, the pictures, the documents, the links to the embedded video from YouTube and all those types of things. So you want to go there and SoundCloud the audio for those who may want to listen as opposed to watching. It's all doable. You can watch it. You can listen in your car while you're driving.
We're everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. So that's all we got for you today. I know that's a lot. Good thing is you can press rewind.
Well, I mean, Dara, there's one more thing that we forgot to tell them.
What is that?
What School of Agriculture is offering with their classes. But I think we can also post that flyer on our Facebook page and other social media platforms. So if you guys are interested in joining School of Agriculture, we have some things that are available to you right now, which is 2 certificates in agricultural business and agrotourism. But there are more classes in store in fall 2021 and spring 2022. So we will post that flyer on our Facebook page and all social media platforms. If you guys are interested, do not hesitate to contact Dr. Usman Adamu. He is the Dean and Director of the School of Agriculture. His phone number and email, everything is right there on that flyer. Or if you have any questions or concerns, you can contact me and Dara. Dara.Cooper, I'm sorry, D Cooper. Am I getting it right, Dara? D Cooper.
You got it.
At uvi.edu. Or you can contact me, Leandra.Kent at uvi.edu. We'll be happy to answer any questions or concerns you guys have. And I think we're rolling into the end of our 46-minute long.
So yes, and you know we put aside this period between 3 and 4, but we're trying to crunch it to you. But sometimes there's so much that's going on at UVI SOA, and so it trickles over. But
it may start trickling over these days because we have so much going on.
It is a lot. So join us again next week, Wednesday, 3 p.m. That's Virgin Islands time, y'all. And that doesn't mean late. It means 3 p.m. AST, Atlantic Standard Time, right here at What's Going On at UVI SOA. Okay, and visit the website again, our Cooperative Extension Service Office, ces.uvi.edu. And the links to things are there, the latest blog. And again, the blog address is blogspot.com. uvisoa.blogspot.com. And so as soon as we get off of here, we're updating everything. We're moving around. The premiere for YouTube for that interview with Toni Thomas is going to be showing tomorrow at 3 p.m. on YouTube. So you can go ahead and follow us on YouTube, please.
We're everywhere, guys.
Be updated for whatever is coming up. I'll be putting up all the other little videos too, the little walk in the garden with her earlier, up in the herbarium, and some information about how a lot of that stuff started. So it's been a lot. We'll see you all next week, Wednesday at 3, right here at What's Going On at UVI SOA, the University of the Virgin Islands School of Agriculture. Take care.
Bye, guys.